Hello, and welcome. Today I invite you to join me on a rather remarkable journey, not across vast oceans or into the heart of dense jungles, but through time itself. We will travel chronologically, visiting some of the world's oldest institutions that are, astonishingly, still in operation. It is a testament to the quiet, enduring power of human endeavor, a story of continuity that is often overlooked in our fast-paced world. From the hallowed halls of ancient temples and the unbroken lines of imperial dynasties to the very first schools and universities, we find a thread that connects us directly to our distant ancestors. These are not mere ruins or relics of a bygone era. They are living, breathing entities, woven into the very fabric of the societies they serve. Think for a moment what they have witnessed: the rise and fall of mighty empires, the devastation of plagues that reshaped civilizations, the cataclysm of world wars, and the silent, ceaseless march of technological revolution. Through it all, they have persevered, adapted, and endured, their foundations standing firm against the relentless tides of history. Their survival is, in many ways, more improbable than that of any great pyramid or colossal statue. An institution is not built of stone alone, but of people, traditions, and shared purpose. It requires constant renewal, a passing of the torch from one generation to the next. In exploring their stories, we explore the very essence of human legacy, our innate drive to build, to learn, to worship, and to create something that will outlast our own fleeting existence. So, let us begin our journey, starting with a dynasty that traces its origins back to the realm of myth and legend. Our journey begins in the land of the rising sun, with an institution so ancient its origins are shrouded in the mists of divinity. The Imperial House of Japan, the Yamato dynasty, is by far the world's oldest continuous hereditary monarchy. According to the classical histories of Japan, the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki, the first emperor, Jimmu, was a direct descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu. He is said to have ascended to what is now known as the Chrysanthemum throne in the year 660 AO BC. While modern historians place the verifiable beginnings of the line closer to the 6th century AD, the unbroken chain of succession is, by any measure, extraordinary. For over 1.5 millennia, a single family has occupied this unique position. Unlike many monarchies, the role of the Japanese emperor has, for most of its history, been more spiritual and symbolic than political. They have been seen as the high priests of the Shinto religion, the living embodiment of Japanese tradition and unity. This separation from the often brutal world of day-to-day governance may well be a key to the dynasty's incredible longevity. While shoguns and military leaders wielded temporal power, fighting wars and managing the state, the imperial house remained above the fray, a constant sacred symbol of the nation's identity. This allowed the institution to weather periods of intense civil strife, political upheaval, and even the dramatic transformation of Japan into a modern nation-state. Today, the emperor continues to perform ancient Shinto rituals, plant the first rice of the season, and serve as a figurehead for the Japanese people. The imperial palace in Tokyo, though a modern reconstruction, stands on the site of the old Edo castle, a place of profound historical significance. The survival of the Chrysanthemum throne is not just a political curiosity, it is a living link to Japan's most ancient past, a continuous thread running from the age of gods and legends to the 21st century. It represents a form of stability that is almost impossible for us to comprehend, a dynasty that has watched the entire recorded history of many other nations unfold from beginning to end. From the Far East, we travel westwards to the heart of the former Roman Empire, to the city of Rome. Here stands a building that predates even the famous St. Peter's Basilica as the preeminent church of the Catholic faith. This is the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran. Consecrated in the year 324 AD, it is the oldest public church in Rome and the oldest basilica of the Western world. Its full title declares it the mother and head of all churches of the city and the world, a testament to its profound historical importance. It was here, not the Vatican, that the popes had their official residence for over 1,000 years during the Middle Ages. The land on which the basilica stands was originally occupied by the palace of the Lateran family, which was confiscated by Emperor Nero and later given by Emperor Constantine the Great to the Bishop of Rome. This act, in the early 4th century, marked a pivotal moment in history, the transition of Christianity from a persecuted sect to the state religion of the Roman Empire. The original basilica, dedicated by Pope Sylvester I, became the cathedral of the Pope in his capacity as Bishop of Rome. It has been the site of 5 ecumenical councils, shaping Christian doctrine for centuries to come. Its survival has been nothing short of miraculous. The Archbasilica has been ravaged by earthquakes, sacked by vandals and burned down, not once, but twice during the 14th century. Yet each time it was painstakingly rebuilt and restored, a symbol of the resilience of the faith it represents. Walking through its vast nave today, beneath the colossal statues of the apostles, one is treading on ground that has been a center of Christian worship for nearly 1,700 years. It has witnessed the fall of Rome, the dawn of the Renaissance, and the turmoil of the modern age, remaining the official ecclesiastical seat of the Pope. Our journey now takes us to the forested slopes of Mount Song in Henan Province, China. Nestled here is a place whose name has become legendary throughout the world, the Shaolin Monastery. Founded in the 5th century in the year 495 AD, it is a place of deep spiritual significance and the cradle of a unique cultural phenomenon. The first abbot, Batuo, was an Indian dhyana master who came to China to spread Buddhist teachings. The monastery was built for him by order of Emperor Xiaowen of the Northern Wei dynasty. For over 1,500 years, this has been a primary center for the practice and study of Chan Buddhism, which would later spread to Japan and become known as Zen. The monastery's story is deeply intertwined with that of another legendary figure, Bodhidharma. This Indian monk is said to have arrived at Shaolin in the early 6th century. Legend tells us he meditated in a nearby cave for 9 years, staring at a wall until his legs atrophied, and is credited with transmitting Chan Buddhism to China. But Bodhidharma is also linked to the monastery's other great claim to fame, the martial arts. The story goes that the monks were physically weak from long hours of meditation, and so developed a series of exercises to strengthen their bodies and minds. These exercises would, over centuries, evolve into the formidable fighting style known as Shaolin Kung Fu. The monastery has endured a turbulent history, a cycle of destruction and reconstruction that mirrors the political tides of China itself. It has been burned down and rebuilt multiple times, most recently in the 20th century. Yet, its spirit and its teachings have proven indestructible. Today, the Shaolin Monastery is a thriving center for both Buddhism and martial arts, attracting pilgrims, students, and tourists from across the globe. The sight of young warrior monks training with breathtaking precision and discipline is a living spectacle, a direct continuation of a tradition that has been honed and perfected in this very valley for a millennium and a half. It is a powerful reminder that true strength is found not just in the body, but in the focused stillness of the mind. We now turn to an institution that is not defined by a single building, but by a community of faith scattered across the globe united by a heritage of extraordinary antiquity. The Syriac Orthodox Church, also known as the Church of Antioch, traces its origins back to the very dawn of Christianity. According to its tradition, the church was established in Antioch by the Apostle Peter himself in approximately 37 AD. Antioch, now in modern-day Turkey, was one of the great cities of the Roman Empire and a crucial early center for the followers of Jesus. It was here, as the book of Acts tells us, that the disciples were first called Christians. This church is a custodian of a profound linguistic and liturgical heritage. Its liturgical language is Syriac, a dialect of Aramaic. This is a language that would have been spoken by Jesus and his apostles. To hear a service in a Syriac Orthodox church today is to hear echoes of the ancient Middle East, a sound that connects the present directly to the world of the New Testament. This is not a dead language used only in texts. It is a living, breathing part of worship for millions of people. The church has played a vital role in preserving this ancient Semitic language against the currents of history that have seen so many others vanish. The Syriac Orthodox Church has endured unimaginable challenges. As one of the Oriental Orthodox churches, it's separated from the main body of Christianity after the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD over complex theological disputes. It has survived under the rule of numerous empires, Roman, Persian, Arab, Mongol and Ottoman, often as a persecuted minority. In the 20th century, its people suffered terribly during the Assyrian genocide. Yet, this ancient faith persists. From its heartlands in Syria, Iraq, and Turkey, it has spread to communities all over the world, a testament to the incredible resilience of a people and their unwavering commitment to a tradition born in the very first decades of the Christian story. Our journey takes us now to a place of stark, breathtaking beauty and profound isolation, the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. At the foot of a mountain biblically identified as Mount Sinai, where Moses is said to have received the Ten Commandments, stands the sacred monastery of the God-trodden Mount Sinai, better known as St. Catherine's Monastery. Officially founded by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian the Great between 548 and 565 AD, it is one of the oldest working Christian monasteries in the world. Its location is no accident. It was built on the very site where tradition holds that Moses encountered the burning bush. The monastery itself is a fortress. Its massive granite walls were constructed by Justinian not only to protect the monks but also to assert Byzantine imperial power in this remote and wild frontier. This formidable construction has been key to its survival. It has weathered the changing political landscapes of the region for nearly 1,500 years, from the early Islamic conquests to the Crusades, the Ottoman Empire, and the conflicts of the modern era. Remarkably, a document signed by the Prophet Muhammad himself, granting protection to the monastery, is said to have ensured its safety through centuries of Muslim rule, a powerful early example of interfaith respect. Within these ancient walls lies a treasure of incalculable value. St. Catherine's Library preserves the second-largest collection of early codices and manuscripts in the world, outnumbered only by the Vatican Library. It holds thousands of works in Greek, Arabic, Syriac, Georgian, and Slavonic. It was here that one of the oldest known complete manuscripts of the Bible, the Codex Sinaiticus, was discovered in the 19th century. The monastery is a time capsule, a sanctuary of scholarship that has remained untouched by the destruction that has befallen so many other great libraries of the ancient world. It stands today, as it has for centuries, a silent, steadfast guardian of faith and knowledge in the heart of the desert. We return to Japan, but this time to look not at a religious or royal institution, but a commercial one. In the city of Osaka, there existed a company so old it made medieval European guilds look like recent startups. This was Kongō Gumi, widely recognized as the world's oldest continuously operating company, with a history stretching back an astonishing 1,400 years. Its story begins in the year 578 AD, when Prince Shotoku, a great patron of Buddhism in Japan, brought 3 skilled temple builders from Baekje, one of the 3 kingdoms of ancient Korea, to Japan. Their mission was to construct the country's first state-sponsored Buddhist temple, Shitenno-ji, in what is now Osaka. One of these master craftsmen was a man named Kongō Shigemitsu. When the temple was completed, its beauty and craftsmanship were so revered that Kongō decided to stay and start his own construction business. For the next 14 centuries, Kongō Gumi would specialize in the one thing it knew better than anyone: the construction and maintenance of Buddhist temples. This narrow specialization was a key to its longevity. The company passed from father to son, generation after generation, preserving and perfecting the intricate techniques of traditional Japanese carpentry, which famously uses complex joinery without nails. They were responsible for building many of Japan's most famous landmarks, including the 16th century Osaka Castle. The company's journey was not without its challenges. It survived wars, political instability, and economic depressions. A 17th century scroll details the 40 generations of the Kongō family who had led the company, a testament to their pride in this unbroken lineage. For centuries, leadership passed to a son or, if there were no sons, to a son-in-law who would take the Kongō family name. Sadly, in the early 21st century, a combination of economic hardship and changing business practices led to the company being acquired by a larger corporation in 2006. However, it still operates today as a subsidiary, continuing its ancient craft. Kongō Gumi stands as a powerful symbol of dedication, family legacy, and the enduring value of masterful craftsmanship. Our path now leads us to the Nineveh Plain in northern Iraq, a region that is, one of the ancient heartlands of Christianity. Here, near the town of Bartella, stands the Mar Oraha Monastery, named after Saint Abraham Oraha, a Chaldean monk who came from southwestern Persia. According to tradition, he founded this monastery in the latter half of the 6th century, around 595 AD. He was said to have been guided to the location by an eagle, and the monastery became a spiritual center for the local Christian community, who belonged to the Church of the East. For centuries, it served as a place of prayer, scholarship, and refuge. The story of Mar Oraha is one of almost unbelievable resilience in the face of repeated destruction. Its location on the Nineveh plain has placed it directly in the path of countless invading armies and waves of persecution over its long history. The monastery was attacked and damaged by Persian forces in the early 7th century, and again by the armies of Nader Shah in the 18th century, who left it in ruins. Each time, the local Christian community, with unwavering faith, painstakingly rebuilt their beloved sanctuary from the rubble. The monastery became a potent symbol of their identity and their refusal to be erased from their ancestral homeland. In the 21st century, the monastery faced its most severe test yet. In 2014, it was overrun and desecrated by ISIS militants who toppled its bell tower, burned its prayer books, and smashed its crosses. The monks and the local Christian population were forced to flee for their lives. Yet, following the liberation of the area in 2016, the story repeated itself. The community returned, and with help from international aid organizations, began the slow, painful process of reconstruction once more. The restored bell now rings out again over the plain, a sound of defiance and hope. The Mar Oraha Monastery stands not just as an ancient institution, but as a living monument to the enduring power of faith to survive even the most determined efforts to extinguish it. We now arrive in England, in the historic cathedral city of Canterbury. It is here we find what is widely believed to be the oldest continuously operating school in the English-speaking world. The King's School, Canterbury, has a foundation date that is truly ancient. 597 AD. Its origins are inextricably linked to the arrival of Christianity in Anglo-Saxon England. In that year, St. Augustine arrived on the shores of Kent, sent by Pope Gregory the Great on a mission to convert the English. He established a monastery and a cathedral in Canterbury, and as part of that foundation, he established a school to educate the sons of local gentry and those destined for a life in the church. For over 1,400 years, education has taken place on this site, a fact that is almost difficult to comprehend. The school's history is a mirror to the history of England itself. It existed before England was a unified country. It educated students through the Viking invasions, the Norman conquest of 1066, and the turmoil of the Reformation. It was during the Reformation, in 1541, that the school was refounded under a royal charter from King Henry VIII, which is how it acquired its modern name, the King's School. This act severed its direct link to the monastery but ensured its survival as a secular, albeit royally chartered institution. Today, the school is nestled within the beautiful precincts of Canterbury Cathedral, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its students walk daily past stones that were laid down by Norman masons, attending classes in buildings that have stood for centuries. The school's list of alumni includes famous names like the playwright Christopher Marlowe and the novelist William Somerset Maugham. To walk through the school's ancient archways is to feel the immense weight and privilege of its history. It is a living institution that was founded when England was a patchwork of pagan kingdoms and continues to educate the leaders of tomorrow, a remarkable thread of scholarly continuity. Just a short distance from Canterbury, in another of Kent's ancient cathedral cities, we find a school with a similarly venerable past. King's School, Rochester, stakes its claim as the second oldest continuously operating school in the world. Its foundation is dated to the year 604 AD, just 7 years after its counterpart in Canterbury. It was founded by Justus, one of St. Augustine's fellow missionaries, who became the first bishop of Rochester. Much like the school in Canterbury, this new institution was established alongside the new Rochester Cathedral to provide a source of educated priests and literate administrators for the nascent Christian kingdom. The school's early history is tied to the fortunes of its parent cathedral. It would have provided a song school to train boys for the cathedral choir, a tradition that continues to this day, and a grammar school for the study of Latin, the language of the church, government, and scholarship. For centuries, the dean and chapter of the cathedral were responsible for the school, appointing its headmaster and overseeing its curriculum. This close relationship ensured the school's survival through the turbulent early medieval period, a time of political instability and frequent conflict in Anglo-Saxon England. Like its Canterbury cousin, the school was refounded by King Henry VIII in 1541, following the dissolution of the monasteries, which is when it formally became the King's School. This royal intervention provided it with a new charter and endowment, securing its future as an independent educational institution. Today, the school's main buildings lie within the cathedral precinct, with the magnificent Norman castle and cathedral forming a dramatic backdrop. The continuous thread of teaching and learning in Rochester for over 1,400 years is a staggering thought. It represents an unbroken commitment to education that has outlasted kingdoms, dynasties, and empires. We travel north now, to another of England's great historic cities, York. Once the Roman capital of northern Britain, Eboracum, and later the Viking capital, Jorvik, York has long been a center of power and influence. It is here we find St. Peter's School, which boasts a foundation date of 627 AD. Its story begins with Paulinus, another of the Augustinian missionaries, who accompanied the Kentish princess Ethelburh north when she married King Edwin of Northumbria. Paulinus established a church in York, which would become the first York Minster, and alongside it, he founded a school. The school's purpose was clear: to educate the people of this powerful northern kingdom. One of its earliest and most famous pupils was Alcuin of York, who would go on to become one of the most brilliant scholars of his age. In the late 8th century, Alcuin was invited by the great European emperor Charlemagne to his court in Aachen. There, Alcuin became the leading figure in the Carolingian Renaissance, a period of intellectual and cultural revival across Europe. He established schools, reformed education, and helped lay the intellectual foundations of Western Christendom. It is extraordinary to think that this pivotal figure in European history was educated at a school in York that is still operating today. The school has had a dramatic history. It survived the Viking conquest of York in 866, and likely continued to function through the period of Viking rule. It endured the chaos of the Norman conquest and the harrying of the north. One of its most famous, though perhaps infamous, former pupils is Guy Fawkes, the man who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament in the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. The school no longer celebrates Bonfire Night on November 5th out of respect for its old boy. St. Peter's stands as a testament to the enduring importance of York as a center of learning, a school that has been educating pupils for nearly 1,400 years through Roman ruins, Viking longships, and modern life. Our tour of ancient English schools now takes us to East Anglia, to the market town of Thetford in Norfolk. Here we find Thetford Grammar School, another institution with roots deep in the Anglo-Saxon past. While its exact foundation date is a matter of historical debate, the school traces its origins to the time of Sigebert, king of the East Angles, who reigned in the 630s AD. The Venerable Bede, the great chronicler of early English history, writes that Sigebert, upon his return from exile in Francia, wished to set up a school in his kingdom in which boys could be taught letters, modeled on those he had seen on the continent. This foundation is traditionally dated to 631 AD. The school was likely associated with the Cathedral of the Bishops of East Anglia, which was originally located in the nearby village of Dunwich before being moved. For centuries, it provided an education for the sons of this rural region, its existence tied to the rhythms of the agricultural year and the patronage of the local church. Unlike the great cathedral cities of Canterbury and York, Thetford was a more modest setting, and the school's survival is a testament to its deep roots within the local community and its ability to adapt to changing circumstances over many centuries. The school has been located on its current site since the 12th century, when it was endowed as part of a Cluniac priory. After the dissolution of the monasteries, like so many others, it was re-endowed as a secular grammar school in 1566. Its most famous pupil was Thomas Paine, the radical political theorist whose pamphlets like Common Sense were instrumental in inspiring the American Revolution. It is a remarkable link. A school founded by an Anglo-Saxon king in the 7th century produced the man whose words helped give birth to the United States of America over 1,000 years later. Thetford Grammar School is a powerful example of how a seemingly small local institution can have a truly global impact. We journey south of London to the county town of Surrey Guildford. Here we find the Royal Grammar School, an institution with a history that stretches back into the medieval period. While its firm documented history begins with a mention in the town records in 1509, which refers to the school as an ancient foundation, its origins are believed to be much older. Tradition and circumstantial evidence link its beginnings to the establishment of a chantry school in the 12th century, possibly as early as 1129, associated with the Church of St. Mary. This would place it among the very oldest schools in the country. The school's most defining period came in the 16th century. In 1552, it received a royal charter from the young King Edward VI, the son of Henry VIII. This charter, granted at the request of the mayor and approved men of Guildford, provided the school with a significant endowment of land and property, securing its financial future and elevating its status. This royal patronage is the source of its name and a point of immense pride. The beautiful Tudor school building, which still forms the historic heart of the school, was constructed in the following decades, a physical embodiment of this new era of prosperity and prestige. One of the school's most remarkable features is its chained library, one of the very few surviving examples of this type of library in the world. Established in the late 16th century, the books were chained to the shelves to prevent theft, a common practice at a time when books were incredibly valuable. The library still houses its original collection, including a 1480 edition of Chaucer's works printed by William Caxton. The Royal Grammar School stands as a magnificent example of a medieval foundation that was revitalized by Tudor patronage, a place where centuries of scholarship are not just remembered, but physically present and preserved for future generations. Alright, so we leave Europe and travel across the Mediterranean to North Africa, to the city of Kairouan in Tunisia, founded in 670 AD by the Arab general Uqba ibn Nafi. Kairouan quickly became one of the most important cities in the Islamic world, a center of political power, commerce, and, most importantly, learning. At the heart of this great city stands the Great Mosque of Kairouan, also known as the Mosque of Uqba. This is not only one of the oldest mosques in North Africa, but also the home of what many consider to be one of the first and greatest universities in the history of Islam. The mosque itself is an architectural masterpiece. Its massive square minaret, dating from the 8th century, is the oldest standing minaret in the world, and served as a model for countless others across the Islamic world. The vast prayer hall, with its forest of ancient marble and porphyry columns repurposed from Roman and Byzantine ruins at Carthage and Sousse, creates an atmosphere of profound antiquity and reverence, but the mosque's importance extends far beyond its architecture. From the 9th to the 11th centuries, Kairouan was a magnet for scholars from all over the Arab world. Within the precincts of the mosque, circles of learning or halqas were established, where students would gather around learned sheikhs to study not only the Quran and Islamic law, but also medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and botany. The scholars of Kairouan made significant contributions in many fields and played a crucial role in transmitting knowledge between the East and the West. While it doesn't have the formal structure of a modern university, the Great Mosque of Kairouan functioned as a major center of higher education for centuries, a beacon of knowledge whose light shone brightly across the medieval world, and it remains a vital center of worship and community to this day. Now, we return once more to Japan, to a secluded valley in the mountains of Yamanashi Prefecture. Here we find an institution of a very different kind, one dedicated to the ancient art of hospitality. This is Nishiyama Onsen Keiunkan, a traditional Japanese inn, or ryokan. What makes it extraordinary is its age. Founded in the year 705 AD by a man named Fujiwara Mahito, it is recognized by Guinness World Records as the oldest hotel in the world. For over 1,300 years, it has been in continuous operation, a sanctuary for weary travelers seeking rest and rejuvenation. The key to its longevity lies in its location. The inn was built around a series of natural hot springs, or onsen, whose therapeutic, mineral-rich waters have been bubbling up from the earth for millennia. From the very beginning, the Keiunkan has offered its guests the chance to soak in these healing waters, a practice deeply embedded in Japanese culture. The inn has welcomed everyone from humble pilgrims to mighty samurai warriors and even emperors. The great shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu, who unified Japan in the early 17th century, is said to have visited the inn twice. What is perhaps most remarkable is that the inn has been managed by the same family for its entire existence. The current proprietor is the 52nd generation of the same lineage that founded the inn back in the 8th century. This unbroken chain of family stewardship is almost inconceivable. Each generation has passed down the traditions of omotenashi, the Japanese concept of wholehearted hospitality, to the next. They have carefully maintained the inn, modernizing where necessary but always preserving its essential character and its deep connection to the surrounding nature. The Keiunkan is more than a business. It is a living family legacy, an institution built on the simple, timeless human need for comfort and care. Our journey takes us back to Tunisia, to the capital city of Tunis. In the heart of the ancient Medina stands the Al Zaytuna Mosque, or the Mosque of the Olive Tree. Similar to its counterpart in Kairouan, this great mosque became a celebrated center of learning, evolving into one of the first and most influential universities in the Islamic world. The mosque itself was founded in the late 7th or early 8th century, with the university, or madrasa, being officially established in the year 737 AD. For nearly 1,300 years, Ez-Zaytuna has been a source of intellectual and spiritual guidance. The university's curriculum was vast, while its core was, of course, Islamic studies, theology, law, and Quranic exegesis. It also became renowned for its teachings in literature, philosophy, medicine, and science. For centuries, it attracted students and scholars from across North Africa, the Middle East, and even Southern Europe. One of its most famous alumni was the 14th century scholar Ibn Khaldun, a towering intellectual figure who is widely considered to be one of the fathers of modern sociology, historiography, and economics. His groundbreaking work the Dan was developed and refined during his time teaching at Ez-Zaytuna. Ez-Zaytuna's influence was profound. It played a critical role in the Arabization of North Africa and the preservation of classical knowledge during Europe's Dark Ages. The university navigated the complex political shifts of the region, from the Aghlabids to the Fatimids, the Ottomans, and French colonial rule. In the 20th century, it was incorporated into the modern Tunisian education system, becoming a state university. Though its structure has changed, its mission continues. The name the Olive Tree is fitting for an institution that has provided intellectual nourishment and shade for so many, for so long, standing as a deeply rooted symbol of Tunisia's rich scholarly heritage. We now travel to the imperial city of Fez, in Morocco, a place of labyrinthine alleyways, vibrant souks, and honestly, just profound history. It is here that we find the institution recognized by UNESCO and Guinness World Records as the oldest existing, continually operating and the first degree-awarding educational institution in the world. This is the University of Al-Qarawiyyin, founded way back in the year 859 AD. And perhaps the most remarkable part of its story is that it was founded by a woman, Fatima al-Fihri. She was the daughter of a wealthy merchant who had migrated to Fez from Kairouan. Using her inheritance, she oversaw the construction of a mosque and an associated madrasa or school for her new community. What began as a community mosque with a school quickly blossomed into one of the leading spiritual and educational centers of the historic Muslim world. Al-Qarawiyyin offered a wide range of subjects, from Islamic studies and law to rhetoric, logic, medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. It attracted scholars and students from far and wide, including, it is believed, the French scholar Gerbert of Aurillac, who would later become Pope Sylvester II, and is credited with introducing Arabic numerals and the concept of zero to the rest of Europe. The university became a crucial bridge for the transfer of knowledge between the Arab world and Europe. Al-Qarawiyyin pioneered many of the concepts we associate with universities today. It awarded degrees, had different chairs for different subjects, and its library, also founded by Fatima al-Fihri, is one of the oldest in the world, housing priceless ancient manuscripts. For centuries, the mosque and university have been the spiritual and intellectual heart of Fez. In 1963, it was incorporated into Morocco's modern state university system, but its mosque and ancient library remain. The legacy of Fatima al-Fihri is a powerful testament to the transformative power of education and the enduring impact that one person's vision can have on the world. Our journey now takes us to Cairo, the sprawling, dynamic capital of Egypt. Here stands Al-Azhar, one of the most prestigious and influential institutions in the Islamic world. Its name, meaning the resplendent, is fitting for a place of such immense authority. Al-Azhar was founded as a mosque by the Fatimid Caliphate in 970 to 972 AD, and shortly thereafter, in 988 AD, it began to hold classes, making it one of the world's earliest universities. For over 1,000 years, it has been a chief center of Islamic learning, literature, and jurisprudence. Al-Azhar's history reflects the religious and political currents of Egypt. Founded by the Shia Fatimids, it was converted into a Sunni center of learning by the great Sultan Saladin in the 12th century. It was under the Sunni Mamluks and later the Ottomans that its prestige grew to encompass the entire Islamic world. Its senior cleric, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, is considered by many Sunni Muslims to be the highest authority in Islamic law, and his pronouncements carry enormous weight with hundreds of millions of believers globally. The university has long been a bastion of traditional Islamic scholarship, a guardian of orthodoxy. Today, Al-Azhar is a vast institution. Alongside its historic mosque and university which still teach traditional Islamic sciences, there is a modern state-run university with faculties for medicine, engineering, and agriculture, with campuses across Egypt. It educates students from all over the world who come to study at this venerable seat of learning. The call to prayer still rings out from its ancient minarets, calling the faithful to the same mosque where scholars have debated and students have learned for more than a millennium. Al-Azhar is a powerful force in the modern world, a living institution deeply rooted in 1,000 years of continuous intellectual and spiritual tradition. We finally arrive back in Europe, in the northern Italian city of Bologna. This city, known for its rich cuisine and terracotta-roofed buildings, is also home to what is widely considered the oldest university in the Western world. The University of Bologna has a foundation date of 1088. Its motto, or Nourishing Mother of Studies, reflects its status as the mother of all European universities. Its establishment marked a turning point in the history of higher education, creating a model that would be copied across the continent and, eventually, the world. What made Bologna unique was its structure. Unlike the schools we have seen that were founded by kings or popes, the University of Bologna was founded by students. In the 11th century, groups of foreign students came together to form a guild, or a term that originally meant a collective of people. They hired scholars to teach them, primarily in the field of civil and canon law. Based on the rediscovery of the Justinian Code, this student-led model gave them enormous power. If they were displeased with a professor, they could simply fire him and hire another. This focus on student rights and academic freedom became a hallmark of the university. The university's influence spread rapidly. It attracted scholars and students from across Europe, including figures like Dante, Petrarch, and Copernicus. It became the preeminent center for the study of law for centuries. In 1158, Emperor Frederick Barbarossa granted the university a charter, giving it special protections and recognizing its independence. Today, the University of Bologna is a vibrant, modern institution, with its historic buildings, such as the Archiginnasio, standing as monuments to its long and storied past. It is the living ancestor of every university in the Western world, a testament to the power of students coming together in the collective pursuit of knowledge. For our final stop, we journey to a small island nation in the heart of the Mediterranean, Malta. In its stunning fortified capital, Valletta, stands St. John's Co-Cathedral. While not as ancient as many of the institutions we have visited, its story is a dramatic encapsulation of a specific, powerful moment in history. The cathedral was commissioned in 1572 by Jean de la Cassière, Grand Master of the Knights of St. John, just a few years after the Knights' heroic victory over the Ottoman Empire in the Great Siege of 1565. The building was to be the conventual church for this powerful and wealthy military order. The exterior of the cathedral is deceptively plain, almost severe, reflecting the knights' identity as military monks, but to step inside is to be plunged into a world of breathtaking opulence. The interior is one of the finest examples of high Baroque architecture anywhere in the world. Every inch of the walls is covered in intricate carvings. The vaulted ceiling is a masterpiece of painted frescoes by the Italian artist Mattia Preti, and the floor is a magnificent marble tapestry of over 400 tombs of the most important knights of the order. Each tombstone is a work of art, inlaid with the knight's coat of arms and a depiction of his life. The cathedral's greatest treasure is arguably the pair of masterpieces by the revolutionary and violent painter Caravaggio, who was briefly a knight himself. His monumental work, The Beheading of St. John the Baptist, is the only painting he ever signed and is considered by many to be his magnum opus. The cathedral serves a dual role today. It is the co-cathedral of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Malta, a living place of worship. But it is also a museum, a time capsule of the wealth, power and piety of the Knights of St. John. It is a monument built not just to God, but to the glory of an order that once ruled the seas. Our journey through time is at an end. We have walked with emperors and monks, with scholars and knights, and with generations of families dedicated to a single craft. From the sacred throne of Japan to the student-led halls of Bologna, these institutions stand as silent witnesses to the great sweep of human history. They have weathered invasions that toppled empires, survived revolutions that redrew the maps of the world, and endured renaissances that reshaped the very way we think. And yet they remain, not as ruins, but as active, vital parts of our modern world. Their stories teach us a profound lesson about endurance. While great armies and powerful dynasties can be swept away by the winds of change, the things we build together, for faith, for knowledge, for community, for service, have a remarkable capacity to survive. They are not static. They adapt, they evolve, and they are reborn with each new generation that takes up the mantle of responsibility. The names may change, the buildings may be rebuilt, but the core purpose, the institutional soul, continues its journey through time. Empires rise and they inevitably fall. Cities are built and crumble into dust. But the human legacy, this unbroken thread of shared purpose, finds a way to continue. These ancient institutions are more than just historical curiosities. They are a source of inspiration. They remind us that the things we create with conviction and care today, the knowledge we share, and the communities we build, might just have the power to echo through the centuries, long after we are gone. They are the living proof that humanity's story is, above all, a story of continuity.